last week I looked at the NFL's lab testing and the Virginia Tech helmet rating scale and essentially told you why you can't really rely on these to help impact what helmet choices you're making if you're going to buy your own helmet. Now in today's video, I'm going to be looking at all the new helmets that are coming out this year and explain to you which ones are considered the most safe. First off, in today's video, most of the information was directly provided to me by the lovely people over at LIGHT, Schutt, VIcis, and Xenith. Riddell chose not to comment. All right, so let's just go brand by brand and look at all the new helmets they have coming out for this year and which ones are the most safe. Now this year, technically Schutt doesn't have any new helmets. They just have two new trim levels of the F7 2.0. So the F7 2.0 will be the same year over year. Now this helmet ranked here right now is currently ranked number 7 on the Virginia Tech scale. Now as far as what these trim levels mean, you now have the collegiate and the professional. The collegiate is going to be your basic helmet, where the professional has a couple upgrades like a titanium face mask to make it lighter. It has quarter turn screws to make it quicker to take your face mask on and off, and I think it also comes with an Oakley visor. Now the biggest difference with the F7 2.0 versus the old F7 is going to be the F7 2.0 has borrowed some technology from VIcis, and we now have a reflex system on the inside. Now you can still pick up an F7 VTD, it's just not ranked as high because it still has the old school padding. Next up is going to be VIcis, and they have a bunch of different models now across their O2 line. So now you have the O2, the O2 Trench, the O2 Trench Elite, the O2 Elite, and the O2 Elite QB. Now of that, you essentially need to pay attention to 3 different models. We have the base O2, which is what I have here, which is still ranked number 4. We have the O2 Trench, which is their lineman specific helmet with their auxiliary piece on the front, which is still ranked number 1. And we have their O2 QB Elite. Now essentially the difference with that model is going to be the reflex system on the inside. So they tuned it slightly differently for QB related impacts, which is mostly with your head bouncing off the ground when you get sacked. The cool thing to note with that QB Elite is it's the identical model that all the guys in the NFL get to wear. So you're getting the exact same technology as them. A lot of times companies gatekeep that really good stuff for the NFL, so it's cool to see VIcis not doing that. Now the only tricky thing is the QB version has not been tested in the Virginia Tech scale yet, but it ranked very highly on the NFL's rating system. Now if you're deciding between these 3 different helmets for VIcis, I'd probably go with the O2. The reason being is the Trench is a little bit more expensive and only works if you know you're going to be a lineman forever. Same thing with the QB version. I think it's $250 more, so unless you know you're going to be a QB forever, it might not be worth investing. Now as far as the Elite models, again, it's a trim level just like they do at Schutt. Again, Schutt, VIcis, same company. Now again, the difference here is going to be you have quarter turn screws on the top, titanium face mask, and included Oakley edge visor. Considering it is like a $250 upgrade, it's actually pretty good value considering how much a titanium face mask and an Oakley visor would be. Today's video is sponsored by Shock Visors. Now if you watch our videos, you know Shock has been a long-time supporter of this channel. In fact, they gave me my first ever visor insert way back in 2014. And just like us, it's safe to say that Shock Visors has come a long way in those 10 years. Their Zero G Plus is the best visor on the market and fits almost every single helmet with one visor. While other companies would make you get a different visor for your Schutt F7 versus your Riddell Speedflex, this Shock visor fits a Schutt F7, a Riddell Speedflex, this Xenith X2E, VIcis O2, and the Riddell Speed. Now aside from it fitting every helmet, it comes in 21 different colors. And they're super affordable, which means you can pick up a clear for games and then a random crazy color for practice. Now if you want to learn more about Shock visors, you can visit the link in the description down below or watch any of our videos we've made. And in that link down below, we also have a 15% off coupon code that you can use anytime. All right, back to the video. Next up is going to be LIGHT helmets. So LIGHT helmets essentially has 2 options now. They have their LS2, which I have here, which is still ranked number 12, but their new model is going to be the Gladiator ATK. Now the Gladiator is the model I talked about last week where they're licensing the technology from Collide and basically creating one new helmet. A lot of the big difference though is this Gladiator has a chromoly tube face mask, which is incredibly light. This is my old dusty Riddell Speed, and it actually has a chromoly tube face mask. You can see there's no visible seams anywhere because it's like one continuous piece. So really cool tech, really strong, really light. Now the technology that they license from Collide is going to be the 3D printed lattice on the inside of the helmet, and that's the same thing that a lot of companies have nowadays, like Riddell with their Speedflex Diamond and the Axiom. Now unfortunately, I don't know a price with this because it's not supposed to come out till later this year, so you can't technically buy it right now. However, in Virginia Tech, it does say $995. I think that's a placeholder number. I don't think that's real. Next up is Xenith. So they technically have 3 models now, but there's really only 2 that people are talking about. One is going to be the X2E, which is ranked number 15, and frankly, it's just not popular at all. And it is a good option for if you're getting into youth football because of the extremely low price point, but as far as a safety aspect, not a lot of people are wearing this. But just like LIGHT helmets, they do have a new claim to fame, which is going to be the Xenith Orbit Pro. And this thing shot up the rankings this year and is now the number 2 ranked helmet for Virginia Tech behind the VIcis Trench. Now they did this in a couple different ways. They stripped out a bunch of the weight of the shell. Again, like other companies, they made a titanium face mask a requirement to make the helmet lighter. And they also have a new 3D printed lattice on the inside. You see the trend here. And now once again, this will only be available to probably Power 5, but definitely NFL teams for this coming fall. And it should be released to the public hopefully later this year. But again, again, on the Virginia Tech site, it says $995, which again, I think means they don't actually have a price for it. So they're just keeping it right below $1,000. All right, now last up is going to be Riddell. Now they have two really popular models still. Now you'll always have the Speed Flex, which at this point is kind of misconceiving because the Speed Flex that you're going to be buying off the shelf is technically the number 19th ranked helmet, which is lower than the X2E, but twice the price. Now the Speed Flex does have a lot of other models out there like the True Fit, Precision Fit, the Diamond, but like those are not the model that you're just going to a normal distributor and buying. You're having to order those directly through Riddell. So I'm looking at the Speed Flex that I know everyone is going to be picking up if they buy it online, and it's not ranked super high, at least not anymore. Riddell's other helmet is going to be the Riddell Axiom, and if you want to learn about the Axiom, I'll leave some links down below. It is the number 6 ranked helmet, but it's incredibly hard to talk about this one because they're very secretive. They won't tell us anything about it, and you cannot buy one unless it's a part of a team order. So we've tried, we can't get our hands on one, and not much we can do about that. So I've talked about like 14 or 15 different helmets today, but realistically only half of those you can like actually buy. So quickly, let's just narrow this down to the best helmets that you can pick up right now. Now from my perspective, VIcis is going to be the clear-cut winner here. The reason being is they have the most models in stock on their website of anyone else, and they're not gatekeeping the technologies that they're giving to the NFL guys. They're giving it all the way down to the lower levels. The Trench, the QB Matrix, the O2, we're all getting all the good stuff. So if I were you, if I was looking at a helmet and I had the budget to support it, I'd be looking at VIcis and finding a model that fits you. This is not sponsored. They are no part in this video. It's just the way it is right now. Having said that, I would love to remake this video later this year when we can actually get our hands on the LIGHT Gladiator and the Xenith Orbit Pro, because they shot up the rankings this year, and I'd love to just get my hands on them and do an actual review. I would also love to get my hands on an Axiom, but it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. All right, that's it. Those are the safest helmets for this year. Comment any questions down below. I'll answer as many as I can. See ya.